Okay, today I'm playing Halo Infinite, and I have a guide here that will show you where to find every single skull in the game. We're starting off with the Boom Skull. The first 5 skulls, I think, 5 or 6, are in missions, so you'll have to replay or get the missions, get the skulls throughout the missions. The rest of the skulls from there on will be found in the open world of the game, so you can kind of get them at any time. Yeah, as you can see, the first one, the Boom Skull, you come to this long room where there's 2 platforms, a few enemies, wipe them all out first, and there's 2 kind of storage box, or crates, containers, whatever you want to call them, that are getting raised up into the roof. There's 2 kind of side by side in the middle of the room. Go to the one on the right, jump on top of it, and it'll take you up to the Boom Skull. For the Cowbell Skull, on the mission Foundation, you get to this really long and unnecessary elevator ride. As soon as you come to the end of it, it'll take you to this room where there's all these little ghosts. The dust and echoes from Cortana. Go through this section and you'll get to this bit with a window and a big open room. And if you stand at the window and you use your scanner and look up, you'll actually see the skull up there in the roof. So you don't need any upgrades or anything for this, for your grapple shot. You can do it with the base default grapple shot that you're given. Swipe out the few enemies, jump on this little box here, look up. You want to aim for the second gap, the one above that one that you can see clearly. There's a bigger one on top. You have a gold, like a gold inside bit that you kind of have to run up. If you use your scanner again, you'll see the skull. And just try and grapple shot up to that other gap. There's another gap up the top with the skull sitting in, so there you go, there's the Cowbell Skull. Alright, this is a bit later in the game. It's I think maybe the 10th or 11th mission, the Command Spire. You get to this section in the game, in the mission, where there's these kind of giant hexagonal blocks floating through the rooms. And you come to this room here where they kind of come in and they turn right before they go to the next room, and they turn up. I'll show you here. They come into the room, they turn right, they go into the next one and they turn upwards. So stay in this one where they turn right, grapple shot your way on top, get on top of that block somehow, and then look up again, and you want to aim for one of these 2 little platforms here that are just above me. Well, you can get on one of them. It's not this one, the other one has a door. So get over there. This is kind of how high from the floor it is. It's pretty high up. So you will need an upgraded grapple shot for this one. At least the second upgrade, I think, from memory. That'll get you the Mythic Skull. By this point in the game, you should well and truly have an upgraded grapple shot though. Here we go on the repository. This is a Grunt birthday party skull. This one's a bit tricky because you have to do a little thing in this section that I'm in to unlock a door later in the mission, where the skull is actually in behind like a door. In there, protected by the 4 invisible elites. So after this cutscene here, where Escharum is kind of telling him off for whatever he's done, something about the pilot. So from the center terminal in the room here, you'll have a few enemies to kill them, and then back to where you activate that terminal, turn right, jump across that big gap. You can go all the way back to the start of the light bridge and go around the wall if it's a bit easier, if the jump is a bit too tricky for you. But nonetheless, get over there, grab the power seed from inside that room, and you need to go where I just zoomed into, the opposite side of this room. So grapple shot your way around the wall. Hopefully you grapple shot better than I do. That's where I came from over there with the power seed, and that's where I'm going. grapple shot your way over here, and there'll be like a little terminal, a little power seed terminal, I suppose you call it, just to your right. If you use your scanner, stick the power seed in, and that opens the door later in the mission. So I've gone through and I've killed everybody, but you'll have a lot of enemies to fight as you go through the path that I'm running now, but I'm just showing you where the door is. You come into this section here with this room with the two pillars, and that's the door up the top there. So get on one of these two pillars and jump up, and there'll be 4 invisible elites in that room there, so kill them all. We'll fast forward. You might be able to run in there if you're on an easier difficulty. I can probably tell you that you're safe to run in there and grab the skull and run out, but I do all of this on all my videos. It'll be recorded on Legendary, so I wouldn't even try getting in there and getting out without being killed. So, and it's more fun to just kill everybody. Once everyone's beaten, the skull will be right there in the middle of the room. It's your Grunt birthday party skull. Okay, the Bandana Skull and the Silent Auditorium mission. It's the last mission in the game. This one's pretty tricky as well. On Legendary, it probably won't be as hard on an easy difficulty, I assume. So, I'm going to show you on Legendary anyway. You can kill whoever you want in the mission up to this point. Yeah, once you come to this next room up ahead, I won't shoot another bullet, I won't attack another enemy, because the sentinel that you can see there's a bunch of them from here on out, and the condition of the door with the skull being opened is that you can't damage a sentinel. I think you're not supposed to kill a sentinel, but I think it just counts for any damage in general, so I just won't shoot. You see, you come into this room and you just hug the left wall immediately, and you'll come to a gap and you just have to grapple shot your way along the wall. At this section here, you'll have to come in a little bit because you have to come through the door, and then go straight back to the left wall. Stick to the wall. Follow it the whole way up to the edge, to the end of the room, the end of the hall kind of thing. You get to the end wall and then you just in as quick as you can. You can probably whack a grunt or two there. I don't know. I won't. Just get in there as quick as possible, alive, and that's probably the hardest part. You come to this part with a bit of dialogue with Cortana and Atriox. Just wait that out. Cross the light bridge.
The memories, the data.
Just follow the path that I'm taking. There's only really one way to go.
It's like
we're getting closer.
This next room isn't very hard.
But I was going to say deliberate.
You just need to know what to do. You just kind of come in, turn to your left and look up. You can probably do it on the right too, but go to the left, look up and get to the roof. It'll take you a few grapple shots. So for this, obviously you need an upgraded grapple shot, but I assume by the last mission you've got that. Yeah, and just stick to the roof and keep like Spider-Man webbing your way across the roof, like staying as high as possible. And when you get to the end of the room, it's not in the middle, it's just to your left. And up here into the right door. And this room here will have 2 doors. Don't go the right door because it leads nowhere, go the left door. You just really have to try and dodge that elite because he can do some damage to you. I got pretty lucky there. And that's it, there's no more enemies between here and the skull. I instinctively came in here and hugged the left wall because I just assumed more enemies, but it took me a second to realise this is just a part with the monitor. He just talks a lot, and you just have to wait out his talking. As soon as he's done talking, he'll unlock that red door on the opposite side of the room, and you can jump in there and follow the path to the skull. I'll show you the door that will lock if you do damage a sentinel. So if you get to this point that I'll show you in a moment, and the door isn't open and you can't go through it like I do, you'll have to restart the mission because you've damaged a sentinel somewhere along the line. You can strike the bridge if you want, or just jump over, grapple shot, and this door here is the one that will be locked. You won't be able to get through if you've damaged a sentinel. Yeah, there's your Bandana Skull. And that should be it for skulls during missions that you can't just go and collect throughout the open world kind of section of the game. Yeah, so I'll show you now the last, I think it's 7 more skulls or something. This one's during the tower mission, but you don't have to get it during the tower mission. You can kind of come back whenever you want. The I Would Have Been Your Daddy Skull on the roof of the tower. So for this one, you can get it really early in the game, but you'll need to upgrade your grapple shot to at least a 2nd level, because if you don't, I don't know if I won't say it's impossible. I'm sure someone's found a way to get up without upgrading the grapple shot, but it's significantly harder. It's just so much easier to use your first few Spartan points. You actually get 2 during the tower, so that should be enough to. That and 1 more will get you to your 2nd upgrade. Anyway, the Blind Skull's next, and it's just kind of southeast a little bit on the map of Ransom Keep, in a big chasm between 2 sections of the ring, I suppose. If you look down there, you'll see like where a rock has fell and kind of wedged itself between the two land masses, I guess. And there's a rocket launcher and a battle rifle. You see them, you're on the right track. There's only one kind of connecting piece of land in this chasm, so you can't really go wrong once you land on something falling down this hole. So jump down to these hexagonal platform things, and you can use your scanner, and it'll show you the skull across the other side. So jump over and grab it. It's a blind skull. Alright, the Thunderstorm Skull is your next one. So when you do the mission Pelican Down, there'll be 3 AA gun batteries. The eastern gun battery, it's pretty well directly south of that, but you'll have to fast travel to the beacon that's south of that, because there's a big chasm between the gun battery and the skull. So go to the beacon, the northern beacon, during the sequence mission. And it's kind of on a standalone, see, just there straight up from where I should have probably looked at it, but it's directly above me right now kind of thing. It's a standalone kind of hexagonal pillar, if you want to call it that. So I'm on this platform here, and it's just straight up there, right above me, on its own. Just this one pillar sticks up into the sky, and the skull's sitting right on top of it. I'll have a quick look around so you can. It's right on the edge of the map here, about that far away from the beacon. The gun battery's up that way. There's a kind of a mountain behind me right now, and there's just this one hexagonal pillar that the skull's sitting on top of. And that's your Thunderstorm Skull. Alright, the Black Eye Skull. Fast travel to Fob Kilo, and then stick a marker on Riven Gate. It's not at Riven Gate, but it's, if you just run from Fob Kilo to that marker at Riven Gate, it's about halfway between them. And I'll show you here. I'll just go across a little bit to the edge. It's if you look down, look for the water, you'll find the river. Follow the river upstream, and then to where it comes over the edge of the waterfall there. That waterfall is the skull is in that waterfall. So you just have to get to that waterfall. It's about halfway between Fob Kilo and Riven Gate. If you're coming from a different way, you might see this like lake that's shrouded in fog. That one right there. So if you get to that lake, just follow the stream down. There's only one waterfall. You can't really find the wrong one. If you use your scanner at the top, you can see the skull. Jump down to the bottom of the waterfall. Or you can maybe drop down, and it's about halfway up, about 2/3 of the way up the waterfall. There's a little ledge that you can grab a hold of. About there somewhere. If you grapple shot your way up and kind of slide down facing the waterfall, you might clamber onto the ledge. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. It's kind of hard to see from the ground, so you kind of just have to keep shooting yourself up, and he'll eventually grab onto it. When he grabs onto it, just look slightly down and to your right, and there'll be a little hole, a little red hole in the ground, in the wall, sorry. And that has your black eye skull inside of it. Yeah, it's about 2/3 of the way up the waterfall. It might take you a few goes to get. I'll show you on a map anyway where it is. Where the skull symbol appears, so you can kind of put the marker there if you don't want to do the whole mark Riven Gate and run halfway between it thing. Just mark around right there. That's your black eye skull. Alright, the Famine Skull. This is one of 2 skulls where you'll actually need a flying vehicle, a Wasp or a Banshee. The other one is right at the top of the map, above Outpost Tremonius. So this one here it's above the command spire, but it's kind of south of the most eastern beacon, the closest one when you start the sequence, the closest beacon to you, the first one you hit. It's like a kind of a floating island on its own, just below that beacon. So if you're like me and you can't get a Wasp from Fob November, pretty sure is your closest one to the beacon, you'll have to scour around looking for a Banshee. And you see I have to go pretty far looking for a Banshee, but you could just go to Fob November and fly your way over there. But anyway, Banshee it is. See, there's the command spire. It's kind of north of that. Little island on its own over here. I don't think there's another way to get to it. Maybe if you got a big run up with a ghost from the top there, you might be able to land here, but I don't know. It's just easier with a Banshee. And pretty well towards the top, there's a little platform. Use your scanner. You can actually use that in vehicles, and you'll see an elite just having a lay down next to the rock, and he's holding the skull. That's the Famine Skull. You see, it's pretty high up the island. Anyway, here's the Fog Skull. So, fast travel to Fob Alpha, and it's directly to the west of Fob Alpha. So you can go up to Outpost Tremonius and get the next skull I'll show you is the Catch Skull. But for now, this is the Fog Skull. And it's tucked away in a pretty hidden spot. You can probably just go up that hill to the right, but I didn't. I kind of ran around the long way. It'll be a bit quicker to turn right and go up. But either way, get to the edge of the map, and you can kind of see where I zoomed in up there. There's a little, looks like a little gap, kind of cave in the hexagonal pillars, I guess. Get up to this platform here. You'll see like one to the left there that I'll jump on and have a quick look around for you. This is where I am on the map. So come to here and you can't go wrong. So it's up there a little bit. Hang on. Straight up there, you can kind of see a little gap between in there. You can kind of go up the wall here to my right if you want and just grapple shot your way up there if you have an upgraded grapple shot. But if not, do what I'm doing here, just get across here and then look up and you can kind of see a bit with a bit of dirt on top of it, like the top of the platform has dirt. Yeah, there you go. Grapple your way up to there and then do the same for the next bit of dirt. This kind of avoids you having to have a upgrade on your grapple shot. I don't know why you wouldn't, but that's so fun. But that's where I was standing before when I pointed up and said it's up there, you can go up the wall kind of thing. So you can go straight up there if you have upgrades on your grapple shot. But if not, just go underneath and come up the other side. It's a nice and easy one. That's where I am on the map. Okay, the catch skull. You go straight back to Fob Alpha. Get a wasp if you can. If you are able to call a wasp, unlike me. But if not, grab a Banshee. I'll kind of fly over a section just up here where you can get a Banshee if you want. It's that not that. That's Outpost Tremonius. It's above that. You can't really you can't get over there any other way except for flying. So you need this Banshee. And just here, there'll be a couple of Banshees. You just saw me fly past. They did a bit of damage to my my Banshee, so I thought I'll grab a fresh one. You do need to do a little bit of fighting with the Banshee. Well, I did. So that's why I thought I better change out really quickly. Get yourself a fresh one, because there's a couple of snipers that you need to take out. And this skull is kind of pretty well guarded, so... I did actually bring a sniper rifle, full ammo sniper rifle, and same with the rocket launcher, full ammo, full grenades. I don't think I even used grenades actually. But sniper rifle and rocket launcher is pretty well going to cover you here. So you'll see a little sniper just down here on this little ridge. Shoot at him, run him over, do what you want. There's another one just over here where this tree is. Get rid of both of them. There is another sniper, but I didn't see him for a while. But he's down on the floor where the hunters are. So there's two big red hunters down there somewhere. But they can't really reach you with their guns, so don't worry about them. Just try and be accurate. You can probably take them both out with just your sniper rifle, but I have a rocket launcher just in case. And see there, that's a sniper that got me. He's down there in the trees and I couldn't quite see him. But he pops out eventually and then I'll pick him off. So there's that guy anyway. The hunters. If you're pretty accurate, pop their back shields off and just hit every bullet into the orange part of their back, you probably can kill them with just a full sniper rifle. But if you shoot like I do, I've done a bit of damage to them, so you got to finish them off with a rocket launcher. They're just down here guarding the skull. You'll see where it is when I take out both of these guys. Anyway, just this stump that I just ran past. The skull is just sitting there in the stump. So go to the lake, look up, you can't miss it. Glowing blue in the middle of a stump. I hope the video helped out. If it did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.